Your sisters are here, ready, open, and as fabulous as possible. These are your sweets, Makeda and Melanie. And you're now listening to Gurl. What?
All right. You know, this is Makeda calling in from Orlando. We have a bunch of guests today. And as in our tradition, our guests are actually bringing in and telling us about their drinks of the day. So I'll let our guests, tell us your name and let's get into what the drink is.
All righty. So who we starting with? They had an assignment, y'all. So I'm curious to see what they named their drinks.
So my name is Nakia Martin, and I created a concoction called Serenity Sizzle.
Oh,
and
love it.
And what it entails is a refreshing drink that has ginger and lime and a whole bunch of other stuff, secret stuff that I can't tell y'all. But it's great nonetheless, and I can't wait for y'all to try it.
All right. We have two guests in the building, if you guys saw the promotion. So we have two featured drinks, and I cannot wait. So go ahead.
Hey, this is Saliha Nelson, and now I had help on this drink, okay? I'm not sure if it's a secret recipe.
No,
but, okay, but we're calling it Southern Belle.
Oh, okay. I like that.
Southern Belle.
And it's a combination of sweet tea, lemonade, and some vodka.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Oh, wait. I didn't do the clink. The clink is important, so then I can start tasting what they brought. That was the drink of the day in the Gurl Cave. Okay. All right. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. And first up, we do our M&M moment.
M&M moment. So, what I have up my sleeve is there may be some projects where I'm coming back to Miami.
And I'm excited about that.
I should be off the road. I'm in the final stages of putting some projects together. I'm really excited. I can't really announce anything now. That would be bad luck. But I'm really looking forward to some of these things materializing. But better news is that I will be in the Gurl Cave on our next episode moving forward. So yay to that!
Right. Yeah. And we have Sweet Butter coming to the Gurl Cave next time.
Nice.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes. Announcing that now, our next guest.
We got Eminem on. Oh, it's my turn.
Yes.
That's all you got? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Girl, you've been moving on Marco Polo.
Sweet, let's go.
All right. Well, let's see. Last 2 weeks have been super crazy for me. I had landlord duties, meaning my tenant moved in. My dog that I had that was 17 years old passed away within these 2 weeks. Onyx. Yeah. He's like a family. Everybody knows Onyx. That was tough. But I know he lived a long life, so I'm good. I volunteered for the City of Miramar's annual 3K walk, run, yoga event, which was a hit. It was really good to, fellowship with the people and talk to the people and help out with that event. SAT, FSA prep is what's happening in education right now. So between teaching and tutoring, that's what I've been doing. Focusing on FSA and SAT because when spring break is over, which we're in spring break right now in South Florida, when it's over, it's FSA and SAT time. And then, let's see, I wanted to, like I did in the last episode, because decorating is my thing, we have begun the spring season, and believe it or not, tassels, feathers, macrame, fringe, and all that stuff is back for decor. Gelato pastel colors and indigo blue is what's in right now. You can use those colors for vases, dining room chairs, tableware. So those pretty colors are in. And geometrics kind of sounds like what era is that? The 70s? But geometrics and foliage with the hanging plants is back for the spring. So if you want to see more latest home fashion, is what I call it, you can follow me at Shin Chic Decor. I have some new inventory that I'm excited about on my online store, www.shinchicdecor.com. So that's it for M&M moment. All right. So now.
Awesome. So, let's get into a few topics where it's going to be a little bit different. I'm only going to highlight a few things that I thought were pretty important. We'll start with, let's see. I kind of want to talk a little bit about what's happening in the White House. There's been a few shakeups, a couple of attorneys left. Some attorneys were, possibly joining the president's, legal team, but that didn't happen. But tonight, if anyone is interested in, some salacious intel, Stormy Daniels' interview on 60 Minutes is tonight. So I just wanted to point that out. A tragedy did strike South Florida. The FIU bridge collapsed, and really briefly, I'm just going to acknowledge and have a quick moment of silence for those 6 victims. There was Alberto Arias, who was 53. Sorry, just kind of scream it there. Navarro Brown, 37. I did write it down. Brandon Bromfield, 39. Alexa Duran was the youngest. She was 18 and an FIU student. And Osvaldo Gonzalez. And the last person was Rolando Hernandez, who was 60. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, those victims. And if we can have just a quick couple of seconds of silence for those victims. Okay, so on to a better, a lighter story that kind of leads into what we're going to continue to discuss. As everyone knows, there was the March for Our Lives that took place yesterday. All across the country, all across the world, there was about more than 800 organized events that was taking place. I don't know if you guys can hear me well, but I'm just going to continue to speak. I'm almost done.
We can hear you.
I just wanted to highlight quickly one of the young millennials, Naomi Walder, who was 11 years old.
Wow.
And she was the young black lady that was, the young black child that was speaking on behalf of African American women and those that had been victims. So I'll just read this really quick, and then we can go into the topic. I represent the African American women who are victims of gun violence, who are simply statistics instead of vibrant, beautiful girls full of potential. It's my privilege to be here today. I'm indeed full of privilege, but my voice has been heard, and I'm here to acknowledge their stories, to say that they matter, to say their names because I can, and I was asked to be. Far too long, these black girls and women have been just numbers. I'm here to say never again for those girls. I'm here to say that everyone should value those girls too. And I thought that was really poignant, but that also leads into our discussion on innovation and millennials. And Mel, I'll let you continue on with the conversation.
Okay, so before I start, there's one guest that's in the building, and I know she's here representing for our guest Saliha. However, I always say, this is a girl cave, so anytime it's ladies in the room, I always encourage them to speak if they like. But my dear sorority sister is in the building, and she is the PR person for Saliha. And I asked her to speak because I think she is an innovator. She does a lot of work in the Overtown community here in South Florida. So she's going to be in on the dialogue as well. But before we get started, I did do some research. So I'm going to start with the research, and I think it's going to bring us into everything that we're going to talk about. All right. So I found an article, and the article, hold on one second. I'm going to back up a little bit. The article was found from a survey that covered more than 30,000 individuals under the ages of 30 from 186 countries. And the article was a part of the World Economic Forum annual meeting. And it asked the question, what do millennials want in 2018? So for those of you that may not know, 50% of the population is under the age of 30. It's the highest youth population in history. The millennials view climate change and conflict as the most critical issues we face. They view startup ecosystem and entrepreneurship as the most important factors contributing to youth empowerment in a country. Young people feel their voices aren't being heard. Majority of young people are optimistic about the impact of technology and innovation. 78.6% of those surveyed think technology is creating jobs as opposed to destroying jobs, which 21.4% thought they're destroying jobs, that technology is destroying it. On the contrary, the reality is 71 million youth or young adults between the ages of 15 to 24 around the globe are unemployed. This is very close to a historic peak of 13%. So this article suggests that we can't fall into the one-size-fits-all approach to innovation. The pursuit of innovation for its own sake is not the answer to the challenge of youth empowerment. This article suggests also that if our mission is to reduce youth unemployment and social conflicts, we need to play to the strengths of regions with solutions tailored to local needs. By identifying young people with business skills in remote areas who need a leg up, could provide the type of opportunities that can reduce the allure of militant groups, who in many cases are attractive for purely economic rather than ideological reasons. It should be every organization's challenge to empower millennials who want to make a difference and to do it quickly. Mm-hmm. So, with that said, our guests who are around us, all of you, in some way, shape, or form, are change agents. And Nakia, who is my hairstylist, is a millennial. Her mom, who's also here, is a hairstylist, and they are business partners. Saliha Nelson is the VP of an organization called Urgent Inc., who I'm going to let her tell you what that's about, but she's servicing youth. And as I said before, Stephanie Van Vart is an innovator in technology and in the communications world that we live in today. So, with all these powerhouses in the room, my question is, what can we do with these statistics? And what are you doing to in your individual platforms to empower youth and to empower change agents? Like, what are your thoughts? And you can jump in however you want.
Well, this is Saliha, and Urgent Inc. We are a youth and community development nonprofit whose mission is to empower young people to transform their communities. And so I think that gets at the heart of some of the statistics that you've called out, and that is, how can we play a role to help our young people not only build skills, but also be transformative agents in their communities. And we have 3 pillars that we work on with our students, and that is succeeding in their education, being civically engaged, and also preparing for their economic futures. And so with that, it's a very important, not only to help young people tap into their passions and purpose, like you were mentioning before, but how they can put that to use for getting jobs, starting careers, being entrepreneurs, and not forgetting about the community. And so I'm very excited to play a role in helping young people pursue that and help them build skills and contribute to their communities and be change agents. So it's important for what we do at Urgent Inc. and the results that we're seeing as we're helping young people grow. I feel excited about.
Okay.
This is Debbie Smith from Serenity. And it's so funny, when we got together today, I saw Saliha, and she also is one of my clients, and we also have worked together in the past, with exactly the topic about, empowering the youth. And, she has a program for the summer for the kids to come into the different businesses in the community. And, if whatever their passion was, they were able to, plug them into different businesses over the summer. And we were able to work with some of the girls to empower them. And sometimes it's not only about the technical part of the aspect of, empowering them. But one of the things we got from working with the kids, I never forget that story with Marie, one of the girls. And she was with us that year. And at the ceremony, at the end of the program, they were asked, what did they get from being out there in the businesses, in the various businesses? And she didn't say anything. But on our way back to the salon, I said, well, Marie, how come you didn't say what you got from, being with us over the summer? And she said, well, she was very shy at the time. But what she did share, I thought was so powerful, because, when we're in the salon, I really try not to keep gossip out of the salon and speak of things that's going to empower folk. You never know who is listening and what they're hearing that would forward them into what's important to them. So she said that there was a conversation in the salon one day, and we were talking, and I said, God does not like when people, commit suicide, and, there's something about it. You don't get to go to heaven when you do stuff like that. And, the conversation. And she said, Miss Debbie, I was struggling with suicidal thoughts. Mm-hmm. And when you said that, I actually changed my mind from committing suicide. So sometimes it's not about the technical skills too, but what you can impart via your conversation that's going to forward them into what's important to them. So based on that conversation, she's now a better person. She's working, and it's so funny, I miss her so much, and I talk about her all the time, and I would love to know what was going on with her now. And my daughter found her working at another business institution close to us. So I thought that was powerful, in empowering the kids too. It's not just the technical part of it, but to take them over the edge with your conversation and what you're saying to them, I think also is important.
And before Nakia speaks, I don't think Ms. Debbie alluded to this. When we set this show up, we had no idea that Miss Debbie knew Miss
Saliha,
Nelson, Saliha.
Mm-hmm.
And everything in this platform is always organic. And, you know, I don't want to get into preaching and stuff like that, but God is moving this platform, and everything that's going on in this room, right? Like, I feel the energy and I feel the spirit. And so when they walked into when they arrived here for the show, they had no idea. I had no idea that they already knew each other. But I'm going to let Nakia talk, my hairstylist. She tells me what to do.
Hey everyone, it's Nakia again. So based on the article that Melanie just read, my input towards that would be that it is so important that as women in the community that we support the youth in what they want to do. And a lot of times there are young women and young men who are interested in, for example, the cosmetology industry and the barber industry. And they tell their parents, hey, I really want to do this or really want to be involved in it and I want to pursue it, and they knock it down. And a lot of times barbershops and salons are escape places or escape rooms for a lot of young people. You know, a lot of times young people come there to the salon and they just sit there and just listen. Like my mom said, you know, you don't even know what they're listening for, what they have going on in their world, but they're just so inspired that, you know, hey, we're actually doing this. Because starting out, when I decided to be a stylist, my parents, my dad was not happy. You know, my siblings weren't happy, and they weren't supportive at all because I had a degree from the University of Florida. And I graduated there, and I was like, this is not what I am destined to do. So I just decided to move forward, go to cosmetology school, and get my license and do my thing because that's what was in my heart to do. So it is so important for parents to support the youth if that's what they want to do, whether it's art, music, cosmetology, barber, support them because you don't know where they're going to go in that avenue. And every student is not going to go to college. I know a lot of parents are like, no, my child will go to college. Some kids will go to college and become self-destructive. If that's not what they want to do, support them in their passion. And I feel like that is an area that Black women need to support their kids in. And when you know that they're passionate in any area, and you recognize it from there about middle school, what it is that they like to do. You know, ask them questions. What is it that you want to do? And have them, like the program that Miss Saliha offers, find programs like that in the city, you know, and have them to attend programs like that and participate in programs like that during the summer to see if that's what they really want to do. And if they take it seriously, then you take it to another level. You know, Northwestern has a #1 cosmetology school in Miami. #1 for high school students. And I know the teacher there, Mr. Ted McCrae, he's an excellent teacher. He really empowers both the men and the young women. They send the bad kids to his class, and he'll have those young men in there doing pedicure. And they love it, but he's really a mentor to those kids. So you never know what your kid can get out of just supporting them in the area that they're passionate about. So that's my input.
So I want to go ahead, Makeda.
Just one question. I mean, that is really interesting because I'm not an educator, so I don't know what's going on in the schools. But I keep hearing that they need to reintroduce different, not is it text or like home ec and shop and all those different other skills because there are more people. I think Melanie mentioned it earlier that are not going to college. So what is actually available for those students that are in the schools? Maybe one of you all can elaborate on that.
Well, it kind of piggybacks on the question I was going to ask Saliha. Like, you're dealing with the millennials that are younger. What is it that your agency focus on? What skills do you focus on?
Well, the Beacon Council out of Miami-Dade County put out a report to inform on what are the high-growth industries in Miami-Dade County.
Okay.
And there's 7 of them. And so we focus on 3 of the 7. We focus on the creative design industries, which is like film, photography, graphic design, all those creatives. We also focus on information technology. So that's a variety of tech fields. So that's from cybersecurity to web design to coding. I mean, the tech field is like large and vast. And there's a lot of tech jobs out there that you don't need a degree. You just need a certificate and proof that you can do it. So there's so many pathways in both of those industries. And we do a little bit on the hospitality, travel, and tourism, where we focus those 3 things. And then we like for the kids to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, so they can get that hustle. We know so many kids that have a lot of drive, creativity, but we want to give them that back knowledge on, okay, well, make sure you charge enough to make some money.
Right. Yeah. The business side of it.
The business side of using their creativity. And so, and even in the creative design industries, there's a lot of things that you can do without a college degree as well. From social media specialist to doing your own podcast to being a creative designer, graphic designer. There's a lot of things. If you have hard skills, you can immediately put them to work and start earning money. So those are some of the things that we introduce our kids to. And then sometimes it's not the hard skills. That is important. Now, we want them to get a hard skill. But also, it's really about those 21st century work skills, which we know as teamwork, collaboration, problem solving, getting along with your coworkers. Those things are important and that's why schools sometimes are not, I don't want to talk down on schools, but they don't reinforce, a lot of the schools don't reinforce the teamwork and collaboration. When you get out in the real world, it's all about how you can work together. What is your role on the team, executing, being accountable, and responsible for what it is you're supposed to do. And when you're having to work and just study on tests, you don't learn those things.
Well, I will say, as an educator, in Miami-Dade County Public Schools, our curriculum does encourage and stipulate we have to incorporate collaborative conversation, differentiated instruction. And in those situations in the classroom, that's when you are supposed to be encouraging collaboration and teamwork and team building and giving students the opportunity to work on assignments as a team. So that is encouraged, and it is something that we have to incorporate into our lesson plans. But I was going to talk about, and this is how I'm going to tie the hair and the technology field together. What I'm seeing as an educator, as a step parent, as someone who's a site director for 5,000 role models, is children think they can learn everything they need to know. Women think they can learn everything they need to know in terms of hair care and treating their hair. And children think they can learn everything they need to know to be a web designer or to be an informational technology specialist, or, nowadays, in my personal opinion, I think social media is exposing our kids to so much to where they think they can just do it.
They can do it at the age of 12. Just because.
So our subtitle for this show was, there are just some things YouTube can't teach. Mm-hmm. My question to you, Saliha, to you, Serenity Hair Spa, what are those things that YouTube can't teach?
Well, I'll use my daughter as an example, because she's the queen of YouTube. She will go on YouTube and just learn stuff. And I'm like, how did you know? Oh, YouTube, Mom, YouTube. Mm-hmm. But this is the same daughter that calls me every day to ask for advice and to make sure she's making the right decision and reconfirming that what she did learn on YouTube is actually the correct thing. So there's still a place for conversation, mentoring, guidance, and supporting folks as they grow. And I think we cannot lose sight of the human element and how important relationships are. And that's what you don't have on YouTube, is you don't have the relationship piece. You don't have being able to talk critically about ideas and issues with one another and helping people think through what's going on in their mind, because YouTube is just your listening, right? There's no conversation, there's no critical dialogue. And I think those are also important skills that you can't just pick up by listening.
Serenity, Harris, why?
Oh, man.
What can't YouTube teach women and
YouTube.
stylists
Okay.
about hair care?
Okay. Okay.
And I'm just going to say that Debbie, she hollers at me every time I touch my hair.
YouTube?
Yeah.
This one, listen.
Like, I can tell you what you do over it. What did you
This
do?
one, she's like telling me what I can and cannot do. I'm like, okay, it just belongs to you.
Okay. So you want to get, or you want to hear that we're passionate about our profession, right?
Absolutely.
We are.
I follow the rules.
And when we have a client, she represents us, our brand, and our work, right? And we get really upset when you do stuff that does not look
Represent.
Yes. But back to the question: what does YouTube? What they cannot teach folk? I think one of the things is, first of all, those persons on YouTube, they're gearing to what works for them. Doesn't mean it works for everybody. A lot of times they're on YouTube giving suggestions about hair, and they didn't go to anybody's school. No, we went to school to learn this. We learned chemistry. We learned all this stuff. We can tell you what the hair does when even water hit it, chemistry-wise, right? And so some of the things that they suggest, it might work for you and your hair texture. Doesn't mean that it's going to work for the average person who is watching your station. So that's one of the things they can't teach you, because they don't know. They didn't go to school to learn the different products, what they do. The products that we specialize in, we've learned it, we've studied it, so we know how it works and what it's supposed to do. And that's one of the things. Maybe as you guys go around, I'll think of something
There's a lot of hair tutorials.
There's a lot of hair
I call
tutorials.
it the finesse, like the finesse or the polish or that aspect. So you're right. There's probably a level of expertise that you've learned that will guarantee someone's look that someone that saw something on YouTube will never get. Because they don't know all those fine.
Yes, and we know the chemistry of stuff, and some of the ingredients in some of the products. We actually know what it's supposed to do and then when you read stuff like sodium hydroxide. I'm getting a little bit technical here now, but sodium hydroxide in something for shampoos. That's such an oxymoron, because if you know what sodium hydroxide is, it's what makes up the key ingredients of a relaxer. Now, if you're putting relaxer in shampoos and you're selling it, your hair is going to be hard and it's going to break. They don't know this because they have not studied the product and the ingredients to know what it does. So that's one of the things. But you can go around and maybe I'll come back and say
Introducing a lady that tells me what to do.
So I am highly against YouTube for several reasons. The reasons why are, one, Miss Debbie mentioned it, is that those folk on there don't have no license. I have a license. Okay. I know all cosmetology schools don't specialize in natural hair, which is what I specialize in. But, I went to Miami Lakes Tech and I had black teachers. So we worked on black, models, and We do this for real. Like, this is not a game. So when people come and sit in my chair trying to tell me what to do.
Don't do it.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
YouTube.
It's different if you see a style on there that you like and say, oh, I saw this girl pin this way, and I like that. That's how I want my hair. Okay, fine, we can do that. But when you say, well, I want my hair wrapped with saran wrap because I saw it on YouTube and I know my hair, I'm like, well, I know what saran wrap does.
Mm-hmm.
So how you gonna tell me?
You get the unit.
Yes, I get hot pitch.
Yes.
I get hot pitch with them. But like Miss Deb also mentioned with the products that people are using in the store, a lot of times they say, they do one thing, moisturizing this and soften this and this type of pudding. But when you turn the bottle around and you're reading these ingredients, most times I tell people, okay, you come in and you say your hair is breaking. I say, take a picture of the bottles that you're using at home and send it to me, and I'll tell you exactly why. And when I'm able to do so, they respect me on a whole nother level because this is what I do. I am passionate about my career. So when people come and tell me about YouTube, it just gets me a little irritated.
And it's so funny. It's so funny now that the clients know. So when a new person comes into the salon, they say YouTube, everybody's like, oh,
Everybody look.
Take that out. Can I say words? Can I also say, like, in my industry with the whole media and film, television world, YouTube is media. So, of course, everybody thinks that they can do what a professional can do. But when you think about lighting, you need to know how to light things properly, especially when you're looking at African Americans. You light them a little different from everybody else. When you're looking at sound,
Well,
you're looking to make sure.
I will say, in defense of YouTubers,
She's a big YouTuber.
Okay.
Big.
I am a YouTube obsessed person, but for me, as right now, I'm not there. I constantly move around. I don't really trust a lot of people with my hair, and honestly, up until coming to Serenity's hair spa recently, I really don't personally like the culture that used to be the norm in hair salons. Like, I've gone to salons, I've been referred to, different places. But what I find is, and you guys elaborated on earlier, is that, the culture in the black salons where it's the gossip, where it's, inconsistencies of like, I make an appointment and when I get there, I'm waiting 3 hours still. Like for me, I look to YouTube, one, because I travel a lot and I still need to kind of like do things within certain budgets. And I could probably say for a lot of people, everyone just can't afford to go to a salon and pay, everyone doesn't have like a bi-weekly, budget of like $100, $200 depending on the salon. They may only have the opportunity to like, okay, let's see, this person kind of looks like they have the same hairdo as mine or hair texture as mine. Let me at least figure this out that way. But I think this is a very important conversation because now we're hearing from experts to kind of like, remind us that there's a reason why you guys are the professionals and the YouTubers are the YouTubers.
Anybody want to jump in?
Yes. So, Makeda. This is Nakia. So, I understand that it's extremely convenient for you being that you travel to, watch YouTube videos, to execute certain styles for yourself when you're on the road, which is completely understandable. But being that YouTube is media, I would also suggest hashtags in any city that you go to. Hashtag natural hair or hashtag maybe Tampa naturals, Tampa stylists, and just go through those stylists' work and see who you could even go to just to ask for suggestions of, hey, what do you think I can use? Because at the end of the day, even though every stylist, they're not professional. Every stylist doesn't specialize in natural hair. And I have heard some horror stories of some people putting relaxer and shampoos and shampooing their hair with chemicals. So I understand the fear that a lot of clients have when they say they don't want to go to the salons. But I'm sure that if you were to go hashtag or research any stylist in any area that you're in, you can make an appointment with them, get a consultation, and just feel them out for yourself. You know, see how they are with their appointment booking, see how their salon looks, you know, check them out. But so many people have that stigma of, I'm going to be in a salon for 4 hours. You know, this happened to me when I was 10 years old with my mom. Every Saturday, we wasted the day trying to go to the salon, but many salons aren't like that anymore. So I would say continue using media to find those stylists that do work for you in any city that you go to, because I do my homework on these other natural stylists in the nation, and they are on point. They make me have to check myself. And they suggest products also. We also suggest products. We use Ashtay product line. They are Black-owned, multicultural hair care product line out of North Carolina. They've been in business for over 23 years, and we've been supporting their business for over 15 years. So when I suggest the products, I know the people personally. We work with them. We see that it works for us, and I recommend those products to my clients. So for clients who I don't see for more than 3 months, I know when I send you off with the products that I'm using behind my back bar that it's going to work for you. So you want a stylist who's going to sit there and educate you on your hair and educate you on the products that you're using. And so you can use the media, is what I'm alluding to find good stylists out here who actually care about hair care.
Very plainly that I'm always on the road, depending on my work situation. And, we're just talking amongst ourselves, but I did purchase all of the products that was recommended to me. Yeah. And I need to figure out how to use it, but I got it.
Okay, so let me just say this, because I'm hoping that there are youth listening, or they will listen eventually, because this show airs on iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play. In the midst of all of this, I'm a strong believer that when you decide to do something, try to make sure that it's something that you are convicted to do. It's your purpose. Because even myself, I feel like part of my life I wasted. I'm not going to say wasted, because everything happens for a reason. But if I had known my purpose a long time ago, I probably would have spent more time on the front end really pursuing what my purpose is. Amen. And when and I'm saying that because I know all the ladies in this room, at this point in our lives, we're doing, and I know I read Miss Deb's bio, when she turned 30, she decided, I want to do something different. But I'm saying this to say, pursue your purpose.
Will all come together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's you tapped on something, is that you said that you didn't know that was your life, that was your passion. So I think life experience is how you kind of get that journey, takes you where your passion is going to be as well. So, someone you might think your passion is one thing, and as you go through your journey, realize it's something.
I guess my point was like, and you both are absolutely right. But what I'm seeing as an educator is a lot of bandwagon jumping. Like they just jump on the bandwagon for what's popular.
Okay.
Or somebody else is doing this. And I know in life we all go through that. Mm-hmm. But since I'm hoping that youth are listening, don't try not to be a bandwagon jumper. Try to, be original of what you like. And it may not be what your ultimate purpose is, but at least you like it. And you're not doing it because somebody else likes it.
Right.
So that's what I was gonna say. And then when it comes to a hairstylist, I'm gonna tell y'all what the thing that I look for. And I'm so grateful for Miss Deb and Nakia, because it took a long time for me to find good stylists. And I really believe hairstyling is a ministry, because your stylist has to have anointed hands. And it's not until I found anointed hands again that my hair has started to grow. And it's become even more healthy. So, and it goes back to my point. In whatever you're doing, whatever you choose to do, put your heart in it. Let God speak to what you're supposed to be doing. And I think that message, and that's a message that YouTube doesn't teach.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that YouTube does not convey. You cannot feel what God wants you to do from YouTube.
But you can use YouTube as a tool.
You can use,
Right.
yes, as a resource.
Absolutely.
As a resource.
But do you think that young people are using it as a tool or a substitute?
A
So
substitute.
That's what
A
I guess is
complete
a substitute for education.
These young ladies neglect their hair completely,
Uh-huh.
and I call it neglect because I can see what over time of them saying, I haven't done nothing. They sit in the chair and say, I haven't done nothing to my hair for the past 4 years. And I'm like, why? Because most of these girls have no kids. Millennials, the statistics say millennials are not having children as fast or as quickly as maybe the baby boomers. So this generation has no excuse not to take care of themselves. So sometimes I have to wonder, is it laziness, neglect, or a complete substitute? You know? So I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm going to get off YouTube's cake.
I mean, but to the point, I mean, YouTube has its advantages. It does. I'm not trying to veer anybody away from YouTube, but there are just certain things in life, period, that technology can't teach. You know, work etiquette, being personable, you know, being business minded, like you alluded to. There's just certain things. And this goes for adults too. We can't learn everything off YouTube
Or Google.
I agree.
or Google
I agree.
Internet.
or Facebook or Instagram. Yeah,
Get your whole education.
Yes.
But I mean, as I mentioned to the ladies in the audience, you know, this platform is designed for these conversations, the much needed conversations. And with the statistics that I just read, with everything we see that's going on in the world, as I mentioned to these ladies before we started, Black women, we are the cornerstone of the world. We are the people that buy the most. We are the people that have the most impact on youth. We are the people that either, you know, build a man up or break a man down. And so, these conversations, I'm so happy that you guys are here, because this is what this platform was designed for. So at this time, I want you all to say any thoughts, promote yourself, promote your initiatives. The floor is yours, and we'll start with Saliha.
For those of you in Miami-Dade, just want to let you know we have our summer camp for girls that's enrolling now for grades kindergarten through 7th grade. We host it at the University of Miami. It's a very affordable, great, high-quality camp. We do dance, drama, tech, entrepreneurship, reading, social skills, and it's a safe space for girls. And basically, that's why a lot of our parents keep bringing their girls back, because there's no distractions from the young men. And also during that time in a girl's life, you know, summer is transformative, right? So they got a lot of stuff going on that needs to be dealt with in a girl-centric environment. So you can look us up on urgeninc.org, follow us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. We're enrolling now. We have an early bird special, only $5 a day. Can't beat it. No, at the University of Miami. So they're on a college campus and they're getting a lot of great stuff. And we also have our summer internships that we're accepting applications. We have summer internships that are paid for 7 weeks. Teens can make between $9 and $10 an hour, but they're going to get great stuff. We have a tech boot camp where they're going to learn how to design websites and mobile applications. They're going to be able to take chance to get certified in different languages at the end.
That's awesome.
We have an entrepreneurship boot camp. We also are going to have our broadcast communications team. We have a mobile news crew. So if you're interested in journalism, media, communications, it's going to be a great opportunity. And then our final internship is with, entrepreneurship, technology, communications, and film. Film is our last one. So if you're wanting to work in front of the camera or behind the camera, we have a great film internship for you guys.
That's awesome. Steph?
Yeah, hi. I don't think I mentioned before, my company, Stephanie Creates, and we are a full-service media and event production, communications, community outreach company. We have a couple of things we'd like to highlight. We have just been fortunate enough to sort of become a communication arms for the historic Overtown, for those of you who may or may not know the community. It's a historic black neighborhood. Historical black neighborhood that was known in its heyday for attracting, it was a little Harlem, so it was an entertainment mecca. And it's on its way back up and into an environment where people will want to come and hopefully live, work, play, and learn. But we are just starting a news and a sort of an email blast that shares all that's happening in Overtown and beyond. It includes things that are both event-based, activity-based, programmatic, even learning experiences called goingovertown.org. Go online and please sign up to receive it. And if you know of anything that we think that folks from around the county would be interested in, please let us know. We want to make sure we're sharing it, especially in our communities. We work with Urgent Inc., so we're going to plug that Youth Economic Development Conference in the summer, July 17th and 18th at Miami-Dade College North. It's our sixth one.
Miami's premier
career
conference.
Summer young people, for students 14 to 21.
Yep.
So they'll have a chance to work with industry professionals in film, arts, coding, entrepreneurship, and all that stuff she just listed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, check with us, and we'll keep you posted on what's happening.
Boss lady.
She could tell all that.
So, guys,
information
I
on
am hiring.
Yeah.
Serenity Hair and Spa is hiring. That is our program. It is a program within because we literally pour our lives into these women, and my mom has done so from the inception of her business 25 years ago, and I am catching the baton and running with it now. So I need to hire some new young ladies that I can train to work like us. And I am taking any inquiries, any recommendations. Just give us a call at 786-512-2574. You can follow us on social media, Facebook at Serenity Hair and Spa, Nakia, and Serenity Hair and Spa. And on Instagram, Serenity Hair and Spa _Nakia. So, guys, just give me a call, and you know where to find me in Miramar at Salon Suite 15.
She's the bomb. Miss Debbie?
Okay, so she already gave that information, so I don't have to repeat myself. But one of the things I would love to say while we're in this forum is about empowering the millennials and the young ones. Just ask a question: what can I do today to make a difference? Right?
Yeah.
And once you ask that question, the Lord will download exactly what you are to do.
That's true.
And we want to empower and make a difference in our community. And this is an awesome forum for us to even talk about what can we do to empower the community. This is the conversations we have in the salon.
Yes.
And now I'm just want to know who wants to take this on. And we're not looking for a leader. We're looking. Everybody needs to be a leader, starting in your household.
Yeah.
Anyway, the question is, what can I do to make a difference? Who can I help? Who can I serve? Right?
Yeah.
And the answer will come, and just execute. So, be responsible for the energy you bring.
Amen.
into this global community, which is so small, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just love y'all. Thank you.
All right, so Makeda, you have any last minute thoughts? She's here. Makeda? Makeda? I think I lost her.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Do you have any last minute thoughts?
Well, this was a good subject. I look forward to, stepping away from YouTube to figure it out. I still use it for makeup tutorials. But no, this is awesome. Again, I wish I was there in person. I really am looking forward, and I'm glad that we were able to shed some light. Hopefully some of our listeners came away with something. Millennials, everything is a cookie cutter and microwave information. Sometimes you got to go back to school and learn, study, and be, and learn your craft. And I think that's about it. That's all I got.
Okay, so TeamShin Enterprises LLC. This is what we're about. We're about empowering passion, purpose, and people. Gurl What is a subsidiary of our company. My husband and I have a company, and both of us are on a mission to empower people, passion, and purpose in our own way. So Gurl What, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're growing. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Google Play. We're on iTunes. Makeda is a political enthusiast, and she's my friend she's on the grind, okay? And myself, again, I'm into education as well as decorating. And you've been tuned into, you ready? Hello? Makeda? I think I lost her. Before I close it out, I almost forgot, and this is the most important part. I always close out with a verse. Colossians 1:16, and it's always the same verse. All things have been created through him and for him. And I think I lost Makeda, but I'll close it on out by myself. And you've been listening to Gurl, and then she normally says, Gurl, what?